All right, so now that Mercury retrograde is over, I'm going to see what it is that we should be keeping an eye on as we move forward. I mean, Mercury retrograde did just end, so we're going to be in Mercury's shadow for, I think it's like 2 weeks. So, there's still a possibility for things to kind of get, a little funky out there with misunderstandings, different things happening that, would usually be associated with a Mercury retrograde. Technological hiccups, usually people see things going wrong with their cars, car accidents, electrical things just kind of going a little haywire. So with that, we will get started with some energetic themes for coming out of Mercury retrograde. Spirit, what is it that the collective needs to know now that we're coming out of Mercury retrograde? Oh, we've got a bunch of jumpers. Wow. Was not anticipating this much talking. And earlier, I did feel called to look at the bottom of the deck. Holy shit, guys. Holy shit. The card on the very bottom of the deck was the Lovers in reverse. So I am going to take that as a card, and it looks like I am going to take Wheel of Fortune. That's also in reverse. Jesus. Let me flip these over and start to build a bit of a thing that I can read over here. Empress in reverse, Four of Wands in reverse, Death in reverse, Three of Cups upright, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, Hermit in reverse, Peace, Strength. Yeah, I was not anticipating any of this, so I do have to apologize because, okay, so changing today's programming, changing the direction of this video a bit. Yeah, this is actually a lot more specific than I thought. Wow. As always, bumper sticker, take only what resonates, leave the rest. Somebody is coming away from a place where they felt that there was a lack of ease. They felt there's a lot of like internal struggle here. A lot of internal struggle here. But I'm getting that these are all past energies, so just give me a second here to unpack this. So somebody's coming away from a place where they were previously struggling with feeling like they were being seen and heard and, taken at value rather than at face value. So I think that there's like a sense here of somebody feeling like they haven't been heard, seen, that their value has been taken for granted. That actually just hit me. So it has been taken for granted. Four of Cups in reverse. We've got seven of Swords in reverse, Five of Pentacles in reverse, and we've got Four of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so these are all, to me, all of these cards just kind of like mentally lit up for me, thinking that these are past energies. So somebody's moving away from a place where they didn't necessarily feel strong. There's a lot of insecurity behind this. I feel like this could have been as a result of, some kind of relationship that fell through, some kind of partnership that came to an end. Or, this could be as a result of being involved with somebody where, a third party was in the mix, that might actually still be in the mix. I feel like if you are the person where there's the third party involved, no, I don't get that this is the person with the third party. I feel like this is the person on the receiving end of being made an option. So yeah, there's a lot of insecurity here just because we've got the Empress in reverse. So somebody is absolutely without a doubt feeling as though, things are not going how they should, and somebody not getting the justice that they deserve, because we've also got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So there's a delay for somebody getting what it is that they deserve. And then also there is still this very clear feeling insecure about what it is. It's almost as if whatever had happened with this person and this third party and this connection that had fallen through, it's almost as if, all of these like things that bubbled up to the surface, like insecurities about your value, your worth, your ability to be heard, your ability to be seen. I feel like a lot of that is as a result of whatever had happened with this person choosing a third party over you as the receiving person on this reading, which is hard. But I do feel like eventually, like, you are going to get to a place where you're kind of feeling a bit more stable. I feel that with the Hermit in reverse, I feel like you are coming out of this hermit mode, this mode of kind of going within, like, you know, sequestering yourself indoors, away from people, or just kind of like, I don't know, being like a little bit of an introvert. You are coming out of that energy. So I think that that's good, especially because, like, you know, if you've taken time to evaluate and hopefully come to the conclusion that it's not a you thing, it's a them and the third party thing. I feel that I'm really hoping that that's the conclusion that you landed on. And if not, please take this as a sign that that should be your perspective, your lens here. I would say that, you know, it's obviously not a you thing. I feel like, you know, everybody has value, and I feel like, you know, everybody, you know, I feel like the actions of others do not reflect upon your value as a person. Their choices are a reflection of themselves and their internal struggles, their internal things that they're processing and going through. It's not necessarily any reflection on who you are as a person. A really good example, and something that, I don't know, has been stuck in the back of my head for like the last couple of days, is the fact that you could be the perfect person, and the person that you are trying to enter a partnership with will sabotage it because they're not used to things being perfect. They're not used to seeing something going so well. So their first instinct is, oh, this is too good to be true. Like, I'm going to get out now. Like, this doesn't make sense. It's not familiar, especially when most people are kind of programmed to expect chaos and receive chaos. You know, just, I feel like just with the nature of toxic relationships, and, you know, a lot of people, listen, we're all a little older. At least I'm going to assume with the demographic that I know these reach, you know, we're at least, you know, mid 20 something and up. At least that's what my data says. But anyway, so I think that for a lot of us, like, you know, a lot of us have been in these key relationships where things have fallen through and not been great. So I think that most people in the collective are kind of hardwired to look for chaos in relationships. So when somebody sees something that's, you could be the perfect ideal person and somebody could still walk away. You know, people cheat on supermodels, and I know that that's a very superficial way to look at it, but it's a great example of it. You know, you could be something where it's like the ideal package, rich, wealthy, beautiful, good looking, handsome, doesn't matter your gender, and somebody still walk out. So again, their actions are a reflection on them and their internalness, things, all of that that's going on. It's not a reflection on you. So I don't know who needs that, but I felt called to say that. I feel like eventually you will find yourself back in this Empress mode. Again, this is not a gendered card in the sense that it's more of just an energy card, where you will find yourself in this phase of being able to kind of stand in your own power, be confident that you can call into reality what it is that you want, be confident that you can advocate for your needs and your things that you would like, to feel secure and happy in a relationship or any kind of other divine partnership. I don't know why I just said divine partnership, but any kind of partnership or union that you find yourself in. So, and what's interesting is once you, actually, that's where I think this reading is headed. Once you realize that it's not a you thing and it's a them thing, I feel like that's when the world opens up, and that's when you're going to have all of these people that come to chase you. I feel like the fact that all of these cards are in reverse just shows me that there's a delay. That something needs to happen before these people come in, and I think it's specifically tied to you being able to realize your own worth and decouple your worth from the actions of others. I feel like once you get to that place where, you know, you're able to make sense of the fact that it's not a you thing and it's a them thing, I feel like that's when, you know, you're gonna have all these other people that come in to pursue you. You know, I feel like there's a lot of sword energy on the table, so these are people that are actually have their heads on straight, which, thank God. I feel like that should be a refresher. Refreshing to hear. Sorry. I think that, you know, sometimes you don't always have to know how the story ends. I feel like, you know, just because you've been hurt doesn't mean that you can't get back. I don't know, I just got like a get back on the saddle, like just hit me right now. I'm gonna take that as a divine download, because like I would never normally say that, but yeah, it's time to kind of like get back on the horse, get back on the saddle. Like, don't be afraid of like how things pan out. Don't be afraid of like, you know, how things move forward. The reason why I say that is because we have 3 of Wands in reverse, as well as the Fool. So the Fool is all about kind of like being able to move forward blindly. So I feel like there's this resistance to hopping into something, and fears around hey, I don't know what the future is going to hold, so I might as well not do anything. Well, that's not going to make you happy. So clearly that's not the right option. That's not the right way to take this. I feel like, your love life hasn't ended. The death is in reverse here. I feel like, maybe your saga with working through things with this person isn't over, or like, maybe they'll realize that they messed up and come back. I feel like obviously that's completely up to you if you want to take this person back. But what I'm getting here is a clear sense that like your life isn't over. Like, it's not the end of the game. I feel like, we've got so much life left to live, and it wouldn't be fun if we knew the outcome for everything, right? So I feel like I don't know who this vote of confidence is for. Like I said, I was not anticipating this going in this direction. I have zero control over how the tarot cards decide to pop and the messages that come through. As you saw, I was literally looking for guidance on, what is it that the collective needs to know going into this Mercury shadow period now that Mercury retrograde has ended. And this is what we got. We got some kind of specific love reading for the collective, and I think it's perfect because Venus in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde, we have, oh my god, who else was, all of them, literally like all of them, all of the planets are doing some kind of, backwards walk right now. But I think, I feel like this is pretty accurate because I feel like over the last couple months, especially with a lot of the personal tarot readings I've been doing for people, there's this very clear sense of, relationships being on the rocks, communication not being as clear and as like fluid as it's usually been. I feel like tensions have been high. I feel like a lot of people have had relationships end. I feel like, it's kind of been a really big time of, people kind of being put through the ringer on a personal end, and then also the relationships kind of being put to the test, many of which failing, unfortunately. Again, unfortunately. So, which is, it's just sad. It sucks. So there's a lot of people that are like in this like how to recover and move on phase. So I am here to help if you need some help. I hope that this helps you feel seen, and that like it's good to know that like, once you do find value in yourself and you realize that your value is not tied to anybody else, any external factors, I feel like I said, that's when there's going to be these people that come in to come scoop you up. So you're not, don't view yourself as damaged, don't view yourself as, behind or anything like that. Like, I feel like, again, don't worry about how the outcome comes to fruition. Like, don't worry about any of that. Like, it's all, everything's groovy. I'm not seeing anything that would make me concerned about the future. If anything, all of the negative cards are in the past. So hoping that this helps. With that, take care, and good luck.